Okay, so today we're going to talk about Cornell notes. So this year we'll be using the flip model in Ms. Pariseau's class. And when you take notes, I want you to use the Cornell notes method. Okay, so this is basically what your page should look like. So first of all, you should draw an off-center eye on your note paper. So here's what your note paper would look like. You have the top line here and then a line down the side. Okay? Then you need to make sure you leave enough room to write. So leave some room to write at the bottom. And draw the line far enough over so that you can actually fit stuff in here because you will be writing in that space. Okay, so second, at the top of your page you're going to be writing the topic and you're going to be writing the date. Okay, so every day the topic and the date. That's so that when you go back and look, it's like having the names of chapters at the top. Then your notes and examples will be right here. So you're going to write the topic and date on the top, the large boxes for notes and examples, and you should make sure you skip a line between ideas and examples. Okay, that makes it very clear when you're going back and studying your notes. And then use abbreviations as needed, but make sure when you use abbreviations you know what that means. For example, the number symbol, you could use that for a number, but don't use an abbreviation that later you might go back and look at it and you might not even remember what that symbol meant. Okay? Okay, so while viewing your video or reading, you should write down the following things. So make sure that you write down any pertinent vocabulary. Vocabulary is also important. Then the main ideas, the key points, and examples. So in math, it's always really important that you have the examples. So write down the vocab, write down the main ideas, but always write down some examples when I give them. Also, after viewing, go back and write 2 to 4 questions that can be answered from your notes. So that's what's going to go in the margin here. So you can see if I'm taking notes on rational numbers, there's an abbreviation like I talked about, and the date is August the 12th. I go back and I say a rational number is any number that can be written as A over B. And then here I have some more information about rational numbers. And then out to the margin, I write a question that's correlated with those notes. So make sure your questions in the margins correlate with the notes in that section. So what is the definition of a rational number? And what are some subsets of rational numbers? So again, abbreviations are fine, like I use DEF for definition and number for the number sign. Just make sure you use an abbreviation that you can later understand. Okay, next, the bottom section. The bottom section is for a summary. If your notes continue on the back, you can write your summary on the back. So that's okay. Sometimes students' notes will continue on the bottom of the page. That's all right. So either draw a line and put your summary down here, or if you have to continue on to the back of the page, that's fine. Whenever you get finished, draw a line and then do your summary at the bottom. Furthermore, when you do your summary, write a few sentences summarizing the main points. So just stick to the key ideas. It might help to go back and read through your questions. If you answer your questions in your summary, that'll make sure that you hit all of the key points. Furthermore, you're answering the question, how could I explain this topic to a peer? So think, if someone was absent, how would I explain this topic to them? So give a brief summary of what you would tell someone if they said, what did we learn yesterday? How would you tell them in a few sentences what they learned? Okay, finally, the last reason that we use Cornell notes is to study. So when you go back, you're going to have these really super organized notes. They're going to have the topic at every page and the date at every page. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back and you're going to reread your notes. So go back through, reread them as you study, and then ask yourself these questions. If you don't know the answer to the question, go back and read your notes again, and then ask the questions again. Also, reread your summary and make sure you understand everything that's in your summary. If every night when you went home you reread your notes and you answered the questions, by the time you got to the test you would know the information really well. So again, just to focus and remind ourselves, we reread our notes, focus on answering the questions that you wrote. If you wrote questions based on key concepts and key vocabulary, you're likely to see the same information on the test. Okay, so hopefully this helps you and you know how to take notes. If you forget how you should be taking notes, you can always go back and watch this video.